Hi guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site. Links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Mount Kimbie featuring James Blake, and that's We Go Home Together. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now, Mount Kimbie remind me a lot of Aquilo actually, when it comes to their unorthodox, progressive approach to modern electronic music, maybe even ambient music at this point. We are spoiled for choice when it comes to the electronic genre right at this moment, and I must admit it's picked up tenfold from that dire year that was 2016, the worst year for electronic music ever in my opinion. The collaboration, or rather this collaboration, has me excited too, since James Blake is an artist who I think is beginning to hit that top level and gain a reputation alongside some of the best British singer-songwriters around at this moment. So shall we see what I thought of this brand new track? Well, I actually really enjoyed it, and I loved the haunting, gloomy atmosphere it created despite using largely major progressions. That's a difficult thing to really achieve. Although the mixing could have done with a little tweaking in my personal opinion, I found each layer interesting and satisfying, really pushing new concepts and ideas out very, very well. James puts in an excellent vocal performance, as you can imagine, on this track. The track is really well written as well, and it stops at the appropriate time, which might sound strange, but I think that's important so that it didn't drag, which a lot of electronic / ambient tracks are beginning to do right at this moment. But it certainly is unique, this track, and I think that's the best thing it's got going for it. I don't think everyone will like this track, as it does have some little dissonant parts in it, and it is a little bit experimental in some sections, but I certainly had a lot of fun with it. Production-wise, the track could have done with perhaps a little more dynamic control in the post-production. I just felt the bass of each element was a little too loud for me, making that low ground feel a little feedback heavy despite it being covered relatively well. It wasn't all the time, and it wasn't distracting or swamping or anything like that. It just was a little too loud for me. It could have been tweaked very easily. So the vocals sound great though, and untampered with throughout the entire track, staying relatively organic really, utilising a really soft and silky reverb to let certain notes ring out into the mix very well into that foreground. As for each layer, well, they all actually sounded very rich and individualised, since they weren't too gated like many other tracks, and it helped create this almost medieval / hippie texture, which is kind of a strange one really. The juxtaposition of these really rough and tribal old sounding sounds next to this 60s like organ and well mixed organ actually worked surprisingly well. When it comes to the musicality of this track, I enjoyed the progressions that were expressed throughout the runtime. I love the decoration that was added from section to section. I thought the song form was progressive and actually refreshing because of it. And I thought the melodies were very extensive and very memorable, catchy even. I will say I would have liked to have heard some more harmonic development, because I just think that would have given the track some more dimensions to it. And perhaps like a real climax for this track would have been nice, but then on the other hand, I did like the abrupt ending to this track and this feeling of like incompleteness. It fit in very well with the overall atmosphere that was created for the track and the unpredictable nature of the track. As I've already said, I thought James put in a cracking vocal performance on this track, especially dynamics wise, since he sounded gentle and soft in some parts, yet passionate and frenetic in others, with voice cracks and all that sort of stuff. His usage of tight vocal control in some sections helped create another great juxtaposition when pushed next to completely out of control sections, and it worked well to create this almost disharmony between the track, almost like an inner confliction even. Lyrically, the track doesn't have too many layers to it, if I'm totally honest, and it doesn't have too many phrases full stop to it, and the ones which we do get are a little bit disjointed, I will say that, and a bit conceptual, a bit far out even. But then I quite enjoyed the interpretive feel of the track, in which your perspective allows you to create your own meaning from the almost like, what's the best way of putting it, like buzzwords almost. So all in all, it's a really solid track, and one that I definitely recommend regardless of whether you're a casual listener or you're actually a fan of everybody involved. So I gave it a G rating of 7 out of 10, which is well above average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.